I tell you what, the women start blowing on that chicken's ass. It is awesome.
Hi, race fans. Welcome to episode 15, Watermelons and Woodchips, presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. So we are in part 2 with five-time IMCA Modified Supernationals champion John Logue, Josh Reynolds to my right, Jonathan Logue still over there hanging out on the end, and I'm Cody Malakote. And so if you watched our first episode with John, we talked a lot about his racing career and where he got started and, you know, his dominance at Boone and Des Moines and other places, going through the modifieds, late models, raced everything, right? And then, but now I kind of wanted to get into some of the business side. So like when you make that transition, right? Like you were involved with Harris Auto Racing, obviously from, you know, the time you were in high school working with Bob and kind of talk about that transition to where you guys ended up purchasing the business.
Yeah, like I said, back in, it'd been the early 80s, I got a job up at, Bob had just moved the business, Harris, from, it was up by Waterloo or somewhere, I think.
Esterville?
No, it went from Esterville, and then it went to up by Waterloo, somewhere around that area, and then they moved it down to Story City. So I got a job there. You know, I was a welder fabricator, building combines, and I was in racing, starting racing, obviously, and so I took a whole great because I just loved, you know, I'm going to build race cars. I'm racing, and so it helped my career around, and blah blah blah, and. Like I said, back in the day, it was just me and Kelly as the car builders, or Brian, I forget his last name. He did the aluminum stuff, and then they had one salesman, and Bob. And me and Kelly used to get into some, you know, because we both raced, and we'd get into some good arguments. And I remember several times Bob Harris would come back there. He goes, "Why don't you guys just go outside and beat the shit out of each other, and I'll pay the bill and get back in here and get to work," you know? But we were always poking at each other, you know, and
You think that's why he pokes at me nowadays? Because you were always poking.
Yeah. He just pokes you out of love.
Yeah.
Me and Kelly, yeah, we've been friends a long time, you know, and Kelly obviously has done very well for himself. And but anyway, so, you know, obviously that's when I had to change jobs because I was going to have a son born and I didn't have health insurance. So I had to quit, and I went to work at a foundry here in town as a maintenance guy. So then I kind of started building some cars, stock cars, out of where Jonathan is building stock cars right now. Mm-hmm. That was my race shop. And so I built a handful of stock cars. I wouldn't build modifieds because I had some people that wanted me to build modifieds because I build them at Harris, you know, but I'm like, I'm not betraying Bob Harris. Mm-hmm. I mean, Bob treated me good, and I'm, you know, that's actually where my first car came from. The guy bought it, and he's like, "Let's just copy this, start building them." I'm like, "Nope, I won't do it." So I built some stock cars out of the garage over there, and they went pretty good, and won some races and stuff like that. So, and then my opportunity come along to work for Bill Gunther, and the reason I did that was because of very flexible hours. You know, if we didn't have trucks, I didn't have to work, and we could go racing when we want because Bill was my boss, and I liked Bill. Bill was kind of a father figure to me, and then when Bill retired or had a heart attack, retired, and Harris Auto Racing had moved to, Bob had sold it to Charlie Clark, and it moved to Lamar's. I think it was 01. And so, but obviously we stayed with Harris. You know, I was the first ones to go up there and meet Charlie, and Charlie wanted to keep us in a car, which we were just coming off of a win of the Super Nationals that year, and obviously I wasn't going nowhere. And so me and Charlie had a very good relationship. You know, I got kind of more hands-on of helping with some of the stuff on the cars, and you know, and then we went again in 03, and then in 05, Charlie comes to me and he goes, you know, he says, I just want to sell this thing. And Charlie was, you know, older, he goes, I'm just going to kind of retire. And he was more of a machine shop, more of a motor builder than actually the car builder. But he did very well with the business, and I was up in northeast or northwest Iowa, and he goes, we need it back down in Boone. We need it back around, that area. And so long story short, me and Pat sat down and we put a deal together and purchased the business from Charlie and build a new building, state-of-the-art building at that time. Everybody thought we were crazy, but same thing as I go back to as before, it's an investment. So when you obviously do something, you do it right and hope for the long term to where down the road it's worth something. And so we moved to Boone, and a big change in my lifestyle because, now I got, at one time we had 15 employees, and Pat always tell me, he says, don't hire your friends. But I went against that, and I had some of my friends, Ron Roach, pit crew guy, Teresa Earl, very long-term friend as my secretary, and Rocky. I've known Rocky since he was, he started building cars for Bob up in Story City, and he went to Lamar's, and he went there. Len Brockett, same thing. Mm-hmm. He worked in Story City, went to Lamar's, come to Boone, and I hired all them guys. And I tell you what, I always used to tell them, I said, this is a team. I'm just happen to be the leader in the deal, but we are a team and we work together. So, and we had very little turnover as help, and everybody, my motto then was, you come to work, I expect a job out of you, and at the end of the week, you expect a paycheck out of me. And then when we get away from work and we go to the racetrack, which most of us were racers, or we party together, whatever, we leave the shop, we leave the business there, and we're back to friends. And it worked out very well. I mean, we had very good success right off the get-go at Harris. We sold a lot of race cars. Dan McKeegan, do you remember Dan McKeegan? He raced down in Harlan area.
I remember that name, yeah.
His dad was the first one to buy the first car from me at Harris when we moved. We hadn't even gotten moved in yet, and he come up and he goes, he's always had Harris cars. He goes, I want to be the first one to buy a car from you.
Did you do something different, like with the serial number or something? Put an L on it?
No, we never changed anything the first year. We just kind of let's get rolled into this deal and get the cars in here. Right away, within a couple months, Mark Elliott come down, and we had a long conversation, and Mark's like, he's building stock cars, the Terminators. He goes, he says, I kind of I just want to sell it and just work for somebody. So we put a deal together, bought Terminator, because we built a building big enough to do the modifieds was obviously, our main goal. But we were gonna get into the stock cars and hobbies because, I had the background of the stock cars and hobbies too, they were going to be Harris cars. Mm-hmm. But when Mark come along, it's like, well, this is a no-brainer. We're going to kill two birds with one stone. We're going to kill the competition of the Terminator cars, which were very good, and Mark was very good with them. And Mark had a very good customer base, and he's going to come and work for us. So it's like no-brainer. And me and Mark, the whole time that me and Mark worked together, I don't think we had one argument, and so that just exploded it, So now we're building stock cars and hobby stocks and modifieds. I mean, we're building 110, 115 race cars a year.
Damn.
Insane.
That's
wild.
Yeah, that was insane.
We put in a frame machine right away so we could do our own repairs. I mean, Wayne Larson, I think it was Scott over there at Wayne's, he was a magic with a frame machine for Harris and cars or any kind of cars. But we put in our own frame machine, and we just kind of upgraded everything and just try to go at it the best way to have the best product, all the way around. And it just exploded, and we did very well there.
Well, something working there and being through them growing pains and everything, you also took it. You made that shop a one-stop shop. You built all your own bird cages, your rear ends. This is before Weir's Machine was a real staple into the racing community. They were doing stuff, but I remember, when you started selling some of Weir's Machine stuff, it was like, it was a pretty big deal. I mean, but you had created, so you could go to this building, and it was, if anybody's ever been in the Harris Auto Racing building there, like I said, state of the art. I mean, I remember running the Zamboni there and we cleaned the floors every day. I mean, yeah, seriously. I mean, Dad ran a tight shop. I mean, we'd be, Christmas time, we're up in a scissor lift with wash mitts washing the ceiling off in the back shop.
I was a part of that, yeah.
I mean, it sucked.
Yeah, we used to take everything out of the building and power wash the ceilings, the walls, everything, because I like things clean. And you know what? And that's when a customer walks in and sees a nice clean shop, that's who I want to buy a race car
First impressions.
Absolutely.
Right. And so when that whole deal conspired, and then it turned into, you started building your own rear ends, and you one of the first chassis companies to almost get away from the square tube cars.
Yep.
And built a round tube car, and that was like, everybody thought he was crazy. I remember that, and
it was 07.
07, yep.
05, we moved in. 06, we kind of ran with everything. And then 07, we're like, all right, we got to come out with this new car. We needed something new, compared to what we've had. And Brian Mullins up in Green Bay, Wisconsin was a big part of that. Brian's a very good friend of mine, and he come down and spent a lot of time working together because Brian had a lot of knowledge up there, and we sold a lot of cars in Green Bay up around that area, and we come out with this 07 car that, a round tube car, and
completely different
than everything. So, sometimes that can go really well, and sometimes it can, this ain't working. But we built, I think, 4 of them. Before I think Jeremy Mills had one, Brian had one, Mark Elliott had one, and I'm not sure who had the other one. Maybe me. Yeah, probably me. But, so we tested I think, from about June or July of 06 going into the Nationals, because we wanted to have these cars going into production by Nationals, because at Nationals, is when you get, make or break you, and the cars all ran well, and we had to do some tweaking and stuff. And then I think by December 1st, we were booked out till May on cars.
So it was a success.
Everybody liked it. It was a new car, and they were, they were fast, they were good, and people like new things as long as they produce.
Would you say, and technically speaking, I'm not there, but when you went to the round tube cars, did that give the chassis, would you say, a little more flex? Would you say there's something it did to it different?
I don't think so. I think it was
Marketing.
Something different.
Yeah, marketing aspect probably.
And then so then the following year, going into the Super Nationals in 07, we had quite a few of them cars out there. Mm-hmm. And I come up with the idea. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to promote Harris Auto Racing as much as we can. If you put Harris Auto Racing on the side of your car,
oh yeah,
and you come to Super Nationals, and if you have any problems other than like putting a major stub on,
yeah,
we will come to the racetrack, pick your car up, take it to Harris, fix it, bring it back, no charge. Mm-hmm. If you make the A main, you get a free body. If you win the Super Nationals, I'm going to trade you cars, give you a brand new one, complete brand new roller, and I want your car to put in my showroom floor.
Nobody ever done that.
That's awesome.
And if you lose your motor, I will buy it back and give it to you if you got Harris on that door. And okay. Jimmy Gustin won Super Nationals in 2012, and everybody thought I was full of shit. I bought that. I bought that motor at the auction. I think I paid $6,700 for it and handed it back to Jimmy, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "You just won me the Super Nationals." I said, "And thank you for putting Harris on the doors." Everybody thought we were crazy, but it was more of a promotion thing, and it didn't really cost me a lot of money, mm-hmm. but the exposure that we got out of it was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Harris on everybody. I mean, it even made the customers that maybe didn't have a shot at even making the show, but they felt like they were part of the family. Mm-hmm. You know, they wanted the Harris on the doors, and we'll take care of you. You know.
Okay, I'll say this: like when we had to repair the cars. So Dad did this. Did you explain how you would go out and pick the cars up?
Yep. I'd make them work during nationals. I said, "What?"
It sucked.
They thought they had to have a week off. I'm like, "No, this is our busiest week, boys."
So there's two things here. So when that happened, I was working during Super Nationals. I would stand at the main gate where all the rigs came through, and I would check wristbands. That's what I did. That is where I first met Jonathan.
It cost me a double sexy T-shirt
every year. He brought me a Harris Auto Racing T-shirt. I still have. I think they're underneath my bed at home, but no kidding. Well, and I think I might have been in a 3X then. But
I was trying to be nice with the double sexy,
but that was where I met Jonathan, and I bet he came in and out of that gate 100 damn times. Just a little white pickup and a flatbed trailer, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out.
Yeah.
But the second thing on that is I have Jimmy Guston's door from it was the year after he won it. He did it again. He had the Harris. I have the door and quarter he brought me on my garage ceiling. So I look at that all the time, and I see that big Harris. So it still has an effect to this day. I'll never forget that.
Well, it was like this really catchy thing, Harris Auto Racing, race cars with attitude. You know, like it was this thing. Like when
had it right on the dash. Race cars with attitude. Just get you in that car and just get you wound up before you even went out there.
Well, and then he also had the stickers. You know that this car was specially built for blah 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 on this time, and so when you would go to pick your car up, it was just kind of like state of the art thing.
And we were one of the first ones. You know, back then you could buy just a chassis, and we switched it around to where it's going to be a chassis, powder coated interior and body, you know, and that's your minimum package, and then on up to a roller or whatever. But we sold a lot of rollers. I mean, and we promoted the deal for quite a while. Is if you buy a roller, we'll assemble it for free. Which was a big deal.
Sure.
You know,
until they started having me assemble cars, and it was like, well, might be a few cross-threaded bolts and maybe an extra rivet hole or two in that body.
And you know, and being around the business as long as I had been, you can always have bad race cars. I mean, it just happens, and it's the way they're built. The way they're welded, you know, it stresses the metal, and I mean, and if I ever had a customer, I had a customer one time out of Green Bay, Sean Jervitz, good friend of mine,
great dude.
Yeah, great dude. He was a dealer for me, sold me a lot of race cars. He goes, John, I just can't get this car to work. I just can't get it to work. Can't get it to work. I said, well, bring it down here. So he drives down here, and I had a brand new one sitting there, and I said, here, just take that one home. Oh no, I'll pay you for it. And I said, no, you're not. I said, you're not happy with it. You know, so he went on, won races.
And from that day on, changed the racing world.
Sure.
Sold that car to another guy, and he won races.
Okay.
So, you know, the racers, you know, sometimes it gets in their head.
Yeah.
You know, and the best thing to do is just change it out. I mean, Jimmy did one time, I think it was the year after he won the Super Nationals, we had in a new car. We still had his car that he won the Super Nationals with. And we were promoting this new car, you know, and Jimmy's like, I said, Jimmy, you look terrible. I know. I said, let's just go get the other car. It's sitting at the shop. No, I ain't doing that. He says, that doesn't sell you race cars. I said, but you running like this does not sell me race cars either. I said, it doesn't matter if people know. I mean, this is not like a new design. It's just, it's not working for you, you know. But Jimmy was the type of a guy that, you know, loyal. I mean, he was a loyal, you know, but I had to fight him tooth and nail, and I think we ended up getting the other car out, and I don't know if he made it or not or whatever, but...
I was just going to ask you, was that the year that he rolled off of turn 3?
No, that was another year.
Okay.
That car was not going back.
Well, because I remember
Jimmy goes, where's my other car? And I said, we're on the way to the shop right now to get it. Because he was in the
All-Star race.
All-Star race,
yeah. He won the All-Star race that year, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I remember I flew out to Harris. His car was out there just sitting there ready to go.
Was that the Busch Light year? So the famous picture of him when he's walking down the front stretch with a bush light in his hand after he rolled. Well, no, that roll happened on the front stretch.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
he come up over turn 3 and was like, you could hear, "Where's my other car? I need my
Oh,
other
yeah,
car. I
he's
need my other
waving-
car."
yeah, he's waving his
his
arms,
hands, and
yeah.
We're already on the way to the shop.
right. We get back and people are like, "How the hell did you guys get back from Marshalltown so quick?" It's like, well, it's only 2 miles from here, boys.
Secrets. Can't tell you all the secrets.
I think what happened was that was one of the first years that they were trying out the overslung stuff, and he went off the back, and I just remember when the car came in, we put tarps over it.
Yeah.
Just because
we don't want everybody looking at it
Sure.
in case there was
Right.
something that wasn't the way it needed to be, but it wasn't.
But it was
just
a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
People surrounded that thing going through the pit. I mean, it was like,
Sure.
I'll never forget that moment with Jimmy when he did that, and he comes out and wins the All-Star race, and then I don't think he did worth a pinch of coon shit in the feature, but he did win. He did win the All-Star race, and Jimmy was how many years did he drive for you, Dad? 10?
Well, it was the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
Jimmy was like me with the Harris deal. I mean, he wouldn't go anywhere. And
Because he grew up on Harris. Like,
Yep.
You know, at hobby stock days, I don't know what he was in for a chassis.
I think Grandpa Gustin illegally built that thing for him. That deal.
Dick? Dick never built nothing illegal.
That sumbitch, that hobby stock he drove, that sumbitch was one of the fastest things I've ever seen. I mean, I saw races where I thought other people won, and he was just so far ahead.
Just like Jeremy, he never cheated or anything. It was
No.
all just bone stock stuff out of the
100%.
deal.
That's
Him
right.
and Richie, and
That's right. You know, and I'm glad you actually said that right there. I gotta ask John this. I asked Jeremy last time. Did you ever cheat in any way that you can remember? Like a good story.
Oh, everybody cheats.
Sure. Something you can tell us.
Well, everybody always thought we had traction control.
Okay.
Never once in my life did I run traction control.
I run it and it don't do any good.
We wanted to at times, but we never did. We just never did, and we always got accused of it because it goes back to that tall gear and no motor.
that was your traction control
It
right
was.
there.
Yeah. I
Sure.
couldn't spin the tires.
Right.
And it made us fast.
Right.
And I mean, everybody pushes the rules, but I don't think I was only DQ'd one time at Super Nationals, and it was my very last race. Thank you, Dave. Of my racing career. I built a brand new race car to go to the Super Nationals with, and it was one of Kyle's new designs. So I wanted to promote Kyle's new design. It was going to be my last race. I think we raced it at Webster City.
Was that the time Jeremy Mills stuffed you in the fence?
No.
Or that was okay. We forgot to bring that
He
up.
didn't stuff me in the wall.
Okay, well, Uncle
We were
Jeff
racing
thought.
deal.
Yeah,
Uncle Jeff was
it
mad.
It was a racing deal. But Jeremy, I mean,
It was just as much my fault as it is. It was one of them deals. But anyway,
yeah, right.
yeah, we got DQ'd for the setback of the lower ball joint.
Oh yeah.
And we gotten crashed at Boone the week before we went out and wanted to test it, and somebody coming through the right door. And I don't know if that was the case or whatever, because everything varies a little bit, but it was a little bit off, and I get it, their rules. Because that tech thing, I'm the one that started or helped get that started years ago.
Really?
Because I always told him, I said, why aren't you teching these cars? And Lottie always had the theory of, we don't want to DQ anybody. Don't want to piss anybody off, I mean, Lottie really was that way. And I said, yeah, but, you need to start teching these cars at Super Nationals. And they put up that tech tent. And the first year, I remember Lottie come down there and everybody's tearing their stuff apart, just happier than hell because they're in the show. And you know what? You know how many people would stand at each end of that tech tent?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was a show.
Yeah,
bet.
for sure.
Still to this day,
Back,
people stand at the tech tent.
back to my thing is we're here to put a show on. And Lottie comes up to me and I'm standing there and he goes, there ain't one person mad in here. I said, well, until you DQ somebody.
Right. Yeah. Right. Once you bounce them, then
it happens, and it's part of the show, though. It's and it puts it out we're going to tech your cars and make them legal, and I got caught. I think the same year he got caught with an illegal shock on the right front. And got
Right rear.
or right rear. Yeah, got knocked out of the race. So I remember coming out to Lottie. I just loaded up. We went home. I said, "This isn't my career anyway. I don't need to be here." I went fishing, and I went out Monday in Lottie's in his pickup, and I walked up to him, and he goes, "Tough week for you boys, wasn't it?" I said,
Okay, no, this was the first time. First of all, Mike Van Gander, and I'm going to go ahead and say it now, you're one lucky sumbitch, because that night that Dad ran second to you, he was only on two barrel. Because we unhooked it the week before
at Webster City. Because I had too much motor. I had an open motor in there.
Right.
And there were too much motor.
We get to the tech area, and we look, and we're like, you got to be shitting me.
We had her on two barrel.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And so it was like, but at the same time, it would have been more of a kick in the nuts if he'd have won.
Oh, sure.
And then get DQ'd.
Yeah.
So then I thought I was going to be tough and take Dad's car out there and prove a point, because it was just faster than shit.
Yeah.
And we just, like, that was the first time I'd ever been DQ'd in my career, and the first time my dad had ever been DQ'd. Ever.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was.
It happens.
There's
There's no favoritism. I guarantee you that, and that's the way it needs to be.
Yep.
Right.
No matter who you are.
Right.
And
Legal's
I'm a firm
legal.
believer in it, and
Right.
I have no problem over it. It's just at the time I was a little upset, but and I tell you what, I'll give Brett Root kudos to this, because I went to Brett and I'm like, they DQ'd me in there, and he went over and talked to Dave, and he stood behind Dave's decision, and he did the right thing. Mm-hmm. I didn't think he did it at that time.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Because all I wanted to do was be in that show.
Right.
And I wasn't going to win, and I'm too old. I wasn't going to be, I just wanted to start that race to be my last, career deal. But it is what it is, and they did the right thing. And that's what makes IMCA such a great sanctioning body, because they check rules and they keep everybody on their toes, and you got to do that. Otherwise, things get out of control. I mean, you see it in a lot of the other sanctioning bodies, and you talk to Kyle Strickler. He's raced them all. And he says, you know what? IMCA has got the best tech guys and the best rules, and they stick to it. And that's why they have the car counts that they have.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you go back to that tech tent thing. That just, to me, that helped elevate everything, because somebody knew when they got, you weren't just going to luck it into the Super Nationals. You got to roll through that
Right.
tech tent. You got to rip that thing apart.
Right.
And if they're going to DQ John Logue, they're going to DQ anybody.
Oh,
so
yeah.
everybody needs to play by the rules. And I think just a whole bunch of things came together, obviously at the right times and everything. But to me, IMCA.
It's just part of the show, the Super Nationals, and everybody's drinking beer, having fun. And,
Yes.
and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I didn't.
Keep the Crispitos going at the concession stand.
Hold on. Why did you tell him to start the tech tent? That's what I want. I didn't know that.
I didn't think they'd get me, but they did.
I mean, right on, because it is a thing, like still to this day, when that tech tent's going on, I mean, they have got officials in there that are specifically paying attention to make sure that you've only got you and two other guys in your area.
Yep.
It used to be you could have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Well, people started cheating and swapping
Right.
heads and doing this and doing that. See,
And when they huddle,
see,
when they get in that huddle, that IMCA group,
not good, is it?
boy, you start sweating.
And I'll never forget to this day too, when Dave DQ'd Dad over that deal, he just looked right at him and says, "We'll just come back tomorrow and try again."
I know it. He says, "You're fast enough. You'll be in." I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm going to go fishing. I was over the racing thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even really want to be there then anyway, and I was just burnt out on it, and so.
You did have once or twice where you gave up a spot.
I did one time. Boy, my car, Bill Gunther was not very happy with me.
Really?
But it was me and Mike Molly, and we'd raced. Mike raced Boone all the time, and me and Mike were friends, and we were racing hard. I mean, this is for a qualifier to be into the A main to qualify for Saturday night show. And we raced side by side, and last lap, I screwed up a little bit, and I got into him and killed his momentum, and it obviously gave me the win, and I just
The whole crowd went berserk, by the way.
I just looked at it and I told my pit crew guys, I said, you know what, we've had so much success at this deal, and I said, I'm not going to do it that way. And I just went over and told them, I said, DQ me.
Wow.
And so Mike got the spot. I don't remember how Mike did or whatever, but it doesn't matter. But one of my guys Bill was very upset with me at the time, but I said, don't worry about it. We'll just come back tomorrow and we'll put our head to the grindstone. But I said, I'm not going to be that guy that's had so much success at this race. And, I made a mistake. And I told Mike that. And Mike was upset, but not fighting upset, but he understood that, we were racing each other hard. Mm-hmm. But Kelly Shyrock come over to me and goes, nobody gives up a spot at Supernaturals. What are you doing? Well, I've had success, so I'm not going to. Right. I don't want to be that. I don't want that tag on my back.
How did that one turn out for you then?
Well, T-shirt sales that year were stellar.
Yeah. I actually gained some fans.
There wasn't as many boos as there was the night before,
Yeah.
Sure.
That's awesome.
So when we talked about Harris, we got to get into the Adobe because I just had some of the best pizza I think I've ever had. And no offense, Jim Zimmerline, Zip, that Zip made really good pizza back in the day.
He copied our shit.
Did he? Okay.
He didn't.
But yeah, that's some good pizza. But what was behind the Adobe?
Well, at the time, that's the bar that I went to in West Boone. And that's where a lot of people don't understand that Boone did not start where it's at downtown. It started in West Boone. And Highway 30 ran right through Boone, right through Ames, all the way to Marshalltown. And Adobe is in West Boone, one of the original parts of Boone, and been there forever. And that's the only place that I would go and drink, and it came up for sale, and I was at Harris at the time, so I really didn't have time to mess with it. And my wife, she was working for a trucking company, so we bought it as a investment. And I had a guy that was going to run it, then just sell it to him. And long story short, we went to Vegas 2 years. It was in 2008. In 2010, we went to Vegas to watch him race, and when we came home, we had an abandoned bar. So we got it thrown in our lap that, okay, he left, he's gone, and we got to run a bar now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And so that was in 2010. And then her company that she worked for, they closed the doors and retired. So she took it over and started running it, and she's been running it since. And it's been a really fun ride. Let me put it that way. There's ups and downs of owning a bar. It's about, kind of like a racetrack. Not everybody's happy all the time, but most of the time. The thing about bars is they're happy if they drink if they're happy, or if they're sad, or if they lost their job. A lot of them come in if they lose their job, or a new job, But we both have families there and friends of long term, and it's kind of the neighborhood bar. And then we turned it into a really good pizza place. We make a homemade pizza there, and a lot of people come in during Super Nationals and hang out, and so it's been fun. There's challenges like any business that you have. You're going to have that stuff.
Yeah. Well, hey, Steph, I know that we've been talking here while
maybe we should get her on.
Yeah, we've been talking while we're on the show. We're gonna try and work some Adobe pizzas, and we know a guy we can try and shuffle some in on Saturday night. So buckle up. We might get you loaded up on Saturday. So
back in the day, the little Ford Escort for Godfathers would come through, and that thing was full of pizza all the way to the roof.
She fit a lot of pizzas in the Tahoe.
Yeah,
right. So you guys better buckle up.
How many pizzas can we fit in your Tahoe?
And she's got 14 employees there.
Yeah.
We have 4 pizza makers now.
That's a responsibility.
We had a kitchen at one time until the pandemic. We had a regular bar, kitchen. And when they closed us down in the pandemic, we went strictly after the pizzas. And so they're like, well, you can sell pizzas out the door. So I told her, I said, well, let's try it. See, we got to make some money somehow because we're closed. Mm-hmm. Our first night, we did like 100 pizzas.
Oh, my God.
It's just me and her. Wow. I'm like, all right. Find somebody to work because I'm not doing that.
I bet you slept good that day.
Even at Christmas. So our pizza thing, we never opened the kitchen after the pandemic. back up. We had just fry food and stuff, and so we just went right after the pizza business, and it's really gone over good.
Turns out what Jonathan's bringing secret menu items or whatever. He said whenever you go to Volusia, he makes a new pizza. So
my wife loves that. And a new shelf, new ideas.
I forgot about that. Well, it's you're always got to be innovating, right? And the shelf, actually, I think they were really worried about it. But like once we got it up, and because I put a little lip on it, because before it was just like this 1970s piece of wood that she found in her dad's basement and had it screwed up to the wall.
She don't like changes,
right? But everybody, and of course everybody, like when they're gone, I mean, they probably get several Snapchats or phone calls or whatever of what I'm doing up there, and it's I wouldn't do anything without their permission, but sure. the shelf thing was needed, and it was great. We can get 2 more bottles of liquor up there. It's not as jammed packed. It was only like a 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch higher. Because she's like, well, what if I can't reach it? I'm like, Dee can reach it. She is the shortest person that comes in here. She's like 4'11" and a 1/4 inch. Like flat-footed, she can reach it. So then we got this really cool Logue Fabrication and Rage Chassis sticker on there. Dad did that, actually.
I did.
But it looks good. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to do anything this year. They're going to be gone for a little longer, so I got some more ideas, but
maybe you can find a spot for like a watermelons and wood chips sticker.
Ooh.
Put one of them up.
That's a good, I don't know, it's getting pretty full.
Okay.
But I will look.
We can have Cody make small ones.
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hey, we should go to a break here real quick, and then when we come back, we'll have the Elmquist towing question of the week, which was the hot lap debate.
Yes, and you got to open your present.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got a present for
It's
you.
got my name on it back here in duct tape.
That kind of looks like my first race car with Katie on the door of it.
I'll tell you right now.
It looks like, is that tape?
It is, and I'm pretty sure what's in there, you might have seen it before on a racetrack.
Oh, good. I'm so excited. All right, well, we're going to go to a break here. We'll send it off, and then when we come back, we'll have Elmquist Towing question of the week and finish up episode 2 with John Logue. You've been watching Watermelons and Woodchips.
When you go green, precision matters, and that's why you choose Weir's Machine. From suspension components, tools, and data technology, we've changed the game for race teams around the world. Our ultra-force load machines are revolutionizing how teams collect and analyze data, while our Circle Track app provides a data storage notebook, giving you the edge on every turn. We're not here to follow the pack, we're here to lead it. American-made, race-tested, Weir's Machine.
Central Iowa Diesel Performance is a full-service preventative maintenance and truck repair center in Ames, Iowa. While they specialize in high-performance applications, they can do fleet repair, engine maintenance, transmission repair, or things such as brakes and electrical. Anything diesel truck related, Central Iowa Diesel Performance is your go-to shop. Check them out at www.centraliowadieselperformance.com.
Welcome back, race fans. Watermelons and Woodchips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. And during the break, we had some friends stop by. Actually, really good timing, but right before we got to the Elmquist Towing question of the week, and then old Jake, he brought us some family-made bourbon from their farm.
From the corn he grew.
From the Elmquist
cool.
farm. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So
Jake and Jocelyn, big part of the Boone Speedway. Great sponsors. Now she's racing. Kind of threw me for a loop, bringing in the old bourbon and a couple of bottles of whiskey. Their family, very family orientated. Jocelyn drew the tractor on the front of that bottle there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The Bethany Church there in the background, special place for the Elmquist. Their lost Jake's father passing away. God rest his soul there at the Bethany Church. So that being good friends of Jake and Jocelyn. That's really cool. I'm kind of excited. I mean, I'm not much of a drinker, but I tell you what, at the old Logue race party, we might have to pop the cork on that baby.
Well, yeah, we just he come rolling in with those bags, and then I'm like, yeah, this is pretty awesome. It says it's aged 30 months and grown from the corn that Jake grows, or you made from the corn that Jake grows. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, as long as we're in the gift giving deal. So we've
This
looked at
this thing's got my name on it. I don't know if you.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to stand up.
Well, we were out garage sailing.
Okay.
And it just so happened we stopped by this awesome place. And they had your name on it and everything. So we went ahead and picked it up.
And where is it from again?
Right here in the Big B. He's a frequent listener on Tuesday evenings. The family gathering over there. I think we'll know when it opens up where it came from.
Is that the Dane?
Dane Larson.
Oh, that was sick.
Had an Iowa State sign. I couldn't touch the actual metal; it would have burned my hand. But yeah, there it is.
Pretty cool.
Came from Chad.
Chad at Top and Body.
Yep.
Chad at Top and Body. We talked about this. We talked about this a few podcasts ago. I think, Dad, you're going to have to refresh us on this because we talked about the time that either you took a ride around on Dane's door in turn 3 and 4, or something happened with somebody was upset with Dane Larson at Boone Speedway one night. Do you remember that night?
Yeah, because he was racing a modified.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I don't remember the whole story of what happened, but yeah, I think I was upset with Dane.
Yeah, I just remember he tried getting away, and you were on the door, and we couldn't quite remember because I was pretty little at that time, but we were talking about it because of Dane being part of the Iowa State.
Yeah.
And the Cyclones, and just kind of how that was a cool thing, and Wayne and Adam and Dane.
Yeah, he had 3 Larsons out there you're racing with at one time, you know. I mean, Dane was good, Adam was obviously good, and Dad was out there, and it was a family affair, and yeah.
So then when Chad heard about that, he threw a picture to Cody or something along the lines with this door.
Yeah. That's
and awesome. So I went down there because I ran into the side of my dad's motorhome. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but I had to have Chad paint me up a piece for that unit. And so when I was down there, I know.
Weird.
Still I run into shit on the racetrack and off the racetrack. Okay. Right. When I was down there, Chad's like, "Hey, man, you should take this for the Cootster and tell him you found it at some garage sale." And so that's what we did.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, yeah, that's pretty phenomenal. And I mean, I remember that car. Like, it was, very distinct. And I think
something you didn't see.
Right. And they worked in promotions with the football team and the cheerleaders and stuff at the Boone Speedway at the same time, like while they had that, with that connection with Dane. So
I remember the cheerleaders.
Cool. Yeah,
I remember that.
I don't think very many people forgot about it.
So did you hurt the motorhome when you backed into it? And there's a reason I'm asking.
Well, now listen. Now the funny thing is I wasn't on my phone, and my dad was literally standing. We were at the big shed, and he walked up to the house, and I got in my pickup and just literally backed up and backed into it. And he turned around and looked at me. I looked at him, and I just went, "You got to be shitting me." He goes, "What were you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
Did you just bleep yourself?
I've never said that before to him.
Right. So I'm like, well, get the pieces coming.
The reason I had to ask is because I actually have kind of a weird tie to 5-time. Mrs. Forklift, Colton's new wife, Dakota. She's a service advisor at Blue Compass RV.
Oh, really? We apologize.
Dakota.
No, I had a good experience down there.
Yeah?
Now, my father-in-law,
Oh, different.
he's not allowed in there. Okay. She ended up buying a camper down there, and they had a bad experience. I don't know what the deal was, but he's a little grumpy.
Oh, boy.
And, they told him to don't come back.
Oh.
But I took mine down there, and they had to put a new awning on it. They fixed me up, and I've been back a couple times. I like that place.
Well, she sent Colton a picture of the back of a motorhome, and Colton goes, "That license plate says 5-time." I know whose that is.
Colton is the guy that does, we call him, refer to him as Johnny Forklift, but also Peter Thumper at the Marshalltown Speedway. It's the dude, Dad, it's the dude that's got the big old not anymore, but he used to have a half a can of dip in, redheaded guy.
Yep.
I always referred to him when I come up to the window as Dickhead.
Yeah.
And sign in, but a big part of racing, that is small.
Yeah. Colton's my son. Colton's my stepson. So
That is so wild.
Yep.
Okay.
So
So wild.
small world. And when I knew that we were going to have him on, I was like, I got to find a way to weave this in here.
Right.
So thanks for hitting his motorhome so I could bring it up.
Yeah, no problem.
It was only like $936 for the piece, but I tell you what, it's ready for Florida on Friday.
I bet.
It is.
Well, on that note, let's get into the Elmquist towing question of the week, and this was obviously something that was inspired by Jonathan again.
Had him fired up.
Yeah. How many laps should a track run for hot laps? And we had them all over the board. And John,
There was over 100 comments, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
There was, yeah.
Yeah, and before the show started, John kind of started talking about it, and I just don't think that there's any reason to not run hot laps.
Right. Hold on. If we're going to go to the before the show thing, I was just saying that I'm going to burn Jerry Van Sickle here right now on that. And I say that because, Jerry, we need hot laps. Okay. And I say that because I look at it as I want to get there. I want to get my car warmed up. I want to get the brakes warmed up, the gear. And those hot laps, if I break something in hot laps, it doesn't ruin my night. Now I got to be Johnny on the spot on getting my shit fixed before the heat race. But it doesn't take me out of if I go out in a heat race and break on the first lap over something stupid, it doesn't ruin my whole night, but it really makes my night a lot harder.
Right.
As far as now I'm in a B main.
You're not supposed to be racing in hot laps.
You've told me that for 13 seasons.
Who's going to win hot laps tonight?
I always beat Randy Roberts, and that was who I always raced against was Randy Roberts in hot laps.
Yeah, I remember coming in the track one night, and your car was just tore completely apart in the back end, and I'm like, it's hot laps. What happened? You and Randy got together, and I was, hot laps.
That was the time that Dad and Ducky and the rest of the crew sat at the back of the trailer and watched me fix the car by myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to tear it up in hot laps, you're going to fix it.
Yep. Well, I did that to Sam Wieben one time at Marshalltown. They dropped the checkered, and he gets out of the gas, and I was still on the firewall, and he had a brand new body on. Remember that? Destroyed the whole left side. I come in, Dusty goes, Jesus Christ. I'm like, well, Bud, I didn't think he was going to dump out of the gas and go to the grocery store. I mean,
we were racing to that checkered flag for hot laps.
So Ducky lost a little more hair that night.
Whoa, he lost some hair that night. I mean, everybody did. They're like, what were you doing? I'm like, guys, it's not just as easy as like turning left and getting away from somebody.
That's the problem. You put a racer in a race car, they're going to race.
Yeah.
Right. So back to the whole Jerry thing, since I brought that up. So yes, we do need hot laps. You talked on the question on the comments here, and it's like, well, we need to start the races at this time and have this. We jack around while you're out there watering or kissing babies and checking the fryer oil and shit anyway. So I'm still on we need 6 or 7 frickin' hot laps.
There it is.
Yeah.
We're on part 2 of the John Logue, so we finally got there.
Just saying. Now, there was a ton of people on there that said no hot laps. They
Yeah.
must not have any problems.
There was quite a few. They must not, yeah.
I mean-
Or they have a track in their backyard. Maybe they do their hot laps there. I don't know.
Something. But there was a lot of positive on that, and maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I don't know. I hot lap every time because Dad made a good point earlier. You know, no matter how good you are, things just happen. Sure. I mean, we've gone to the racetrack. We fired the race car up here in the shop, loaded it, get over to the racetrack, it won't start.
Right.
Well, usually an electrical or an issue or something like that usually doesn't show itself until it's under a load.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Ryan King's been fighting a backfiring problem for the last 7 or 8 years. And only does it under a load. Well, we only get a certain amount of time. Yes, you can go to John Davis's or Carl's and go to a chassis dyno, but it's still not the same as putting that race car under a load at the racetrack in a race mode condition. So I'm a fan of hot laps. Please, racetracks out there, if you're listening to this, please continue to do hot laps. Now, when we go to like a 141 deal, you know, when they're doing the 10,000 win stuff, they have a practice day.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with that. We're having a whole day of practice or a whole night of practice, a 3 or 4 hour practice. We don't need to run every single car on especially when you're running a show on a Monday or Tuesday or during the week. Like, get the first 2 heats out there. Let's, you know, work the track in a little bit or whatever, and let's go racing.
Yeah. How do you like the Super Nationals format where you basically get, so for, like, say, stock cars and mods, you get a hot lap on Wednesday.
I hate it.
And then no hot laps.
Well, here's what I don't get. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're hot lapping. And sometimes in those conditions, depending on what time of day it is, in my opinion, we're burning the racetrack up. Because
they're using you guys to get it right after farming, right?
Right.
And
And they need that. I mean, I
kick
think
the slime off.
Yep.
There's times that they do, but there's times also too where they're not farming it like they normally farm it. And so, like, the racetrack's already ready to rock and roll. I feel like a couple times this year at Super Nationals, especially with that hole down in turn 1, they weren't watering that hole. I mean, I was in the water trap a couple times.
Yeah.
They weren't watering it. They weren't really even scratching it up because they couldn't. I think it would have made it worse. So to me, yeah, it is nice to knock some of that slime off, but sometimes I just feel like, you know, especially when you got 4 sets of hot laps before. So I guess, let me rephrase that. The part that pisses me off is when we run 4 sets of hot laps and then we run 3 B mains and then we run 2 A qualifiers back to back. We're getting a lot of laps on the track at that time.
Sure.
You know, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So maybe I'm just being a whiner about it.
Well, I think, you know, from on a weekly standpoint, it just kind of depends on the track conditions. And there's times where, let's say if it did rain or they got a little more water on it than what they anticipated, you know, 4 or 5 laps, and you know how many groups you got going out for the most part, like, you know, but if the racetrack's in good shape and
see, they do that too. Yeah. Logan, I've seen Logan do that where it's like, okay, boys, and I'm always just pissed because I'm was either out there before he gave the extra laps or I'm in the staging. And then like, it's like, oh shit, the track's actually pretty good, you know, but you'll see sometimes he runs 4, 5 or 6 laps versus just the green, white checkered. Now the green, white checkered is good. As long as everybody's getting the green, white checkered.
Right.
Because sometimes I only get 2.
Yeah. And I think the process is once they get 1, if there's a yellow, they're done.
Oh, so I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you guys can't not step on your dick in hot laps, take it to the trailer.
Which is tough because, and there is a balance too, right? There are people out there, they need those laps. They need every lap they can get on a racetrack. And I'm not bashing him or talking down like Jackson Elmquist, right? We were just talking to them. He needs every lap.
Absolutely.
Seat time is invaluable.
Absolutely.
But it's tough because we got a show coming, and again, we got a show.
But same thing too. It's kind of a double-edged deal because if you have a guy, if you have a guy that's out of town that doesn't get a race there very often, and he gets out there with a guy that that spins out and cuts your hot lap short. Now, maybe they don't look at it this way, but when I go to a different track, I'm like, man, I've never raced here before. Like, what's corner 1 versus corner 3, 4, whatever.
Yep.
So it's, I don't know. It's kind of a, yeah.
I can see both ways. I definitely can.
Yeah. I just wanted to bust Jerry up really about it because he was like fired up about it on the internet.
So we know your stance. The more laps, the better.
Right.
John, when you raced, you said you hot lapped every time.
Absolutely.
But were you a 2-3 laps were good type of guy, or?
Yeah, basically. But I always felt it was good for the car, for myself. To get out there and turn some laps, no matter how many laps I'd had at Boone Speedway or wherever I went. But, just to get me in the groove and get my mindset and get the car, get the feel of the car. And I always hot lapped.
Yeah.
I always wanted as many laps as I could in a race car.
Sure.
That's what I go there for.
Right.
As much work as everybody puts into these cars nowadays, work and time and all that, we want to race. And it's kind of like when they used to shorten races or when they short races. I hated that. I'm here to run 20 laps. I can't help it that these other guys are having problems or whatever. I'm here for 20 laps.
Right.
And shortening a race, you're just punishing your good racers, my opinion.
Yeah.
So I hate when they shorten races, and I didn't like it when they didn't get hot laps. If you got a day worth of, like you said, like 141, you're going somewhere different, at least you get out there and test and tune and all that and kind of get the feel of the track, for gearing and all that. But, and I understand, then they got to kind of cut it off and not have it. But I always tried to as much as I could.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, too, is you think about that. It just kind of clicked in my head. You get a 20, like modified and stock cars, you get 20 laps in the feature. You get 8 laps in a heat race, and you get 2 or 3. That's 30 laps.
Yep.
That's all you get.
That ain't enough for me.
That's not enough for me either. I don't know about you guys.
Depending on if you're leading a feature or not.
No shit.
Now shorten it.
Right? No shit. No shit.
They never do that, right?
Right.
Or if there's like a rain in the forecast and you're trying to get to the front as fast as you can, like, all right, we're done, we're good.
Yeah.
So there was one comment on there that I actually printed out. We had to make sure and talk about it. And it was actually a comment back to your dad, I think, Chris. He had said something. Somebody said something about Crispositos.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris said something about, would that be risking things? And Chris Burke, rolling the dice to be eating Crispositos before a heat race. Don't want to drop a mud monkey in staging. I think that gives the old dirty dirt snake a run for its money.
I'm telling you, when you start prairie dogging and staging, not good.
No. Now you're begging for less laps, right?
Right. Correct.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It could be nerves. It could be anything, but that's a thing. That is a thing.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's your child, by the way.
Yeah.
In case you
Somebody introduced him to TikTok, and boy,
That's great.
Did the world ever
A lot of
change?
cool things on there, man. Yeah, you guys are always posting dumb shit on there. Paul
know.
Dirt and shit. Paul Bud.
Bud.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul Bud eating some.
Backstretch cough eating Crispositos.
The newest one, Crispositos and Odega. That was a real good one.
Yeah, did I really say Ordega or did
No,
I?
Odega. No R.
Odega.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Odega.
yeah.
I thought because everybody's like, ooh, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I said Ortega.
No.
Okay.
No R and a D.
We have the evidence, and I think it's going to be a T-shirt before too long.
Odega and Pecker Tongs.
That's right, the old pecker tongs.
Oh man.
On that note, I mean, honestly, can't thank John enough for sitting down here with us. And honestly, I didn't know how this would go, and I don't think any of us did. But I think we're all pretty pumped with how, getting you to open up and tell your stories is probably something not only like us three want to hear, but like obviously the people that watch the show. So we genuinely do appreciate you. Hopefully you had fun doing it.
Absolutely. My racing career started in '86, so this next year will be my 40th year of being around it, as far as being involved with racing. And I've been in every part of it, chassis builder. I've helped tracks. It's been a phenomenal 40 years of my life, and met a lot of great people, a lot of good people, and a lot of great fans, and just all the way around, it's been one heck of an experience. And and for a sport that's it's a very fun, interesting, family-oriented sport, and that's I see a lot of people that's come and gone, and a lot of new people, and it's been one heck of an experience.
John, I have one question that I meant to ask you earlier. When did you start to see some talent out of that one to your left?
Still searching.
You're still looking?
Yeah, we're still trying to find that. Now, when he, obviously started racing sport mod, and second year into it, we'd build a new car, and he went out and then he won the Super Nationals, and he had to work at it. I mean, it wasn't given to him. He didn't he started up front and ran away with it or anything like that. I mean, him and Randy Roberts had a heck of a good race, and when he did that, I was like, yeah, well, he's serious.
Okay. Yeah. Is it special? And I'm sure, I know with my kids, anytime they do something that makes me proud in any way, it's special, right? But to see him come through and take that big trophy home, knowing now he's adding to the legacy, right? That's got to be special.
Yeah, it was probably one of my most special experiences of my life. To watch him. He watched me my whole life. I mean, he was the first one to my car at every Super National win. I've got tapes of it and pictures of it, and
Jeez,
and then
bud, tear-jerking.
Coming,
God damn, bud.
To come out of the grand, you always sit in the grandstands, and then to watch him, I made him build his first car, from scratch, which he's talked about before, and I wanted to make sure that he was as passionate about it as what I was, because that's what it takes to be good in this sport. Is you gotta want it bad. Yeah. And to watch him win that was pretty cool.
In that first feeling, when you realize he is going to win this race, what's that like? Did it compare to you winning?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're in there racing, it's a lot different than watching it, especially, watching your kid do it, which I'd never experienced. So it was definitely a different experience and a great experience, and to watch it and be part of it, as a dad and the car owner and blah, 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 and watch him, make it all happen. And I made him work at it. I just didn't hand it to him, because nothing was ever handed to me, and he worked hard at it, and he got results.
Yeah.
Yep. I tell you what, the very next year in 2015, when we ran second to Clint Llewellyn by 18 1/4 inch. Yeah. I was happy that, Clint passed me. It was a
hell of a race.
And I that was one of the first times I ever threw a bomb. And I remember I come right across I couldn't see this, but after watching the video, I come right across Clint's, never touched him.
Nope.
But I just think, man, if I could have just slowed down a little bit, we'd be
Yeah.
But to come in, go over and congratulate Clint, knowing the feeling of what winning that race means, but then to get kicked in the nuts, I led the whole thing, and to see my dad, I was upset. I was hard on myself. He's like, oh, geez, bud, you just ran second, I want you to win, but I'm thinking, I know, but gosh dang it, and we pick up our second one in 2019, and I don't know, I feel like Dad and I are pretty tough, but it was emotional. And my third one, that was, Dad's like, geez, hold it together, bud. Well, because we set a record. We did a lot of first time things, especially because it was on a Sunday, and as a son to a racer that had the success that my dad's had, to be able to carry that torch or feel like I picked that torch up and brought some more of that to our shop is a feeling I can't even explain. And I mean, we got the Ice Dog. I mean, he's 16. I'm really hoping.
Yeah. Round 3.
Well, I tell my dad sorry all the time because, I was kind of not a troublemaker, but I just was a kid and did a lot of dumb things growing up. And now my kid is doing those to me. And I always tell him, I'm like, Dad, I love you. And I'm sorry. He's like, what do I even do now? And I'm like, well,
and I just sit back and just giggle. I love it. And it's like, yeah.
So
I might have been in attendance for some of those things.
You used to do the same stuff.
So I'm excited, like this is what we do. This is, I didn't really do baseball. I did some sports in school, but my dad was racing, and I didn't understand. The racing was his thing. And then once I got into it, Dad don't miss very many races. So it's very, very special to me. It means a lot to me and my family to be able to do the things. And even though I've done a lot of dumb things over the years, he's always guided me and pushed me to be a better racer. And he did. I mean, everybody knows I'm a little more high strung and tell people.
I don't know where he gets that from.
It's the cron side, I think. But I'm a little more vocal about how I feel about what happens on and off the racetrack. And my dad gives me a little grief about it because, that wasn't really a thing back in the day. But I've transitioned and I'm slowing down a little bit. I figured it up. I watched all the videos from last year. I only chewed Cody's ass 3 times all season. That's good in 24 nights.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's not bad.
Right. The other times we were just talking about outside of racing stuff. But no, it's to have this, I've talked about it. Jimmy Gustin and my dad are my heroes in the racing world. And to have that, it's a lot of pressure, feeling like I'm letting him down just because of what he's done in the racing and the relationships and stuff. So, I honestly, Dad, I can't believe we've had you on here this long, and we're still going. And I know happy hour's coming up. We're gonna get you there here in just a few minutes.
I gotta say, so for not me personally, not being around John much, I've been around you, but not actually hung out, talked, and all that. It's pretty evident to see how proud you are of Jonathan. Jonathan, it's pretty evident to see how proud you are of John. All your guys' accomplishments, all your years in the racing world, and we're all better for it. So.
Oh, absolutely. And the bottom line is you got to have fun. Mm-hmm. And, it's like Jake Elmquist told me here this summer, his daughter's 18 or 19?
Yep. I think she's 19.
And he goes, you know what? He goes, a lot of people, at first when Jonathan started, they're like, man, you're spending all this money on this kid and doing this, doing that. And like Jake told me, he goes, you know what? He goes, my daughter's 18 years old or 19 or whatever she was. He goes, it's Saturday night, and she's here at the racetrack with me. Mm-hmm. You know what? He goes, I don't care what it costs me.
Yep. Right.
I'd rather
That's
have
a good
her.
point.
I would rather have her right here by my side, and we're having fun together as a father-daughter at 18 years old instead of out, doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad or whatever. He goes, but we're spending time together, and that's where, me and Jonathan, we talk daily. 2 or 3 times a day, and we're, we not everything about racing. I mean, he hunts, I fish, he fishes. We do other stuff together too, but racing is a big part of our life, and it's made a big part of our relationship. Mm-hmm. Strong and good, and and we like doing things together, and that's what we do. It's just like Jake. That's like you said, that's a great way to look at it. Is I don't care what it costs. If my kid's having fun and we're having fun together, and as a family, we're all family going together and hanging out with friends, and that's what we do on Friday and Saturday nights.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Then who's the better fisherman?
Me. Oh, yeah.
That's no shit. That's no shit. We went
Walleye
to
fishing, he's a walleye fisherman. I'm a flathead guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the only other really sport that I like. He likes hunting and stuff. He likes doing other stuff, too, and that's good. But, yeah.
Well, Dad's the cook for us during our hunt camp. He cooks us up our fiddles and everything for us right here in the shop. And, yeah, I can agree with that because we went to Canada last year to fish, and he threw his back out. So me and old Watts Dog, we were out on the water and this and that, and nobody's catching walleyes, nobody's doing this. And finally, I'm like, Dad, you want to go with us? He's like, yeah, shit, I'll go out this afternoon. First cast, walleye. Second cast, he's like, I thought you guys said this was hard. We've been out 2 days, hadn't caught
And the best thing about it, I pull it in, he takes it off the hook, he puts a new lure on. I'm like, this is just like having a guide. This ain't so bad after all. But, yeah.
So, yeah, that... yeah. I forgot. Yeah. The next day, same thing. We drive an hour in the boat, and he catches the first fish, the big fish. I'm like...
Thought you said it was hard. That's great.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on, John. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. Part 2 with Mr. Logue here. We do want to thank all of our sponsors, Central Iowa Diesel Performance for being our presenting sponsor, Weir's Machine, Logue Fabrication, P1 Promotions, and Elmquist Towing. We do want to thank everybody. Like, obviously, we say it every episode. It keeps us going. The engagement, like, share, subscribe, all the things. Follow us on YouTube.
Don't forget
Spotify.
where you got the pizza.
Oh, yes. And the Adobe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adobe
The
pizza.
Adobe. Yes. Which that was very good. So we're
It was.
If John's going to be gone, so make sure you get on the
Well,
special menu there.
You know, we talked about his time within racing and everything, and there's been this talk about this secret promoter position, you know, that there's been a lot of requests of, you know, Dad, are you going to maybe promote a racetrack someday?
Absolutely not. I'm retired. No way.
Wait, why?
No. I had a race car business for 9 years. You know, love the sport, but I just want. I'm the point in my life. I just want to go out and watch some racing. I mean, I got 2 cars, them old vintage cars, and I raced each one time last year, you know, but I still got the thrill of doing it. But, you know, now I just want to go out and relax because, you know, I've spent 40 years of my life, you know, going to the races and, you know, either helping him or when I did it, you know, and now I just want to go and watch. I really enjoy that. That's what makes my night.
Well, too, Dad, we were going to bring up the fact that a lot of the listeners want to thank you for the dirt that you found.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even touch base on that, and I forgot. We we know you're not going to tell us where
Between
you're.
that and the Airs series, we need to have him back. He got to come back on.
When he gets back from Florida.
Yeah, we wanted to talk. Man, we were going to pinpoint you down. What is going to be the first times winners race this year? Is it going to go to the hobby stocks or are we going to go to the modifieds?
I think we're going to go to the modifieds.
There it is, folks.
Yep.
Yes.
You heard it.
And it's going to be season championship night, the same night.
Yep.
And we're going to have the Airs cars. I already talked to Brian that runs the Airs series, and Brian is very good with that stuff. And, you know, you guys know how much it takes to put on a show. And he puts on all these shows all summer long, and he puts a lot of work into this deal. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't get no pay.
Yep.
You know, it's just for fun. So Brian, I contacted him, and he's like, you bet, we'd love to come back to Boone, you know, and it was a good showing. And so they will be there the same night, which is like the 3rd week of August, I think, Cody. But it's season championship night. Yep. So I have the Airs cars and my first-timers race, and it will be the A modifieds this year. So, yeah.
That'll be awesome.
So listeners out there, if you're an IMCA modified driver that has not won a race, you are eligible for this race at the Boone Speedway in the middle of August. Please keep your eyes peeled. Boone Speedway is definitely going to have something. I know it's a long ways away, but we did have a guy last year from Wisconsin, that older guy, Dad, the 69 car.
Yep.
from Wisconsin that come down to that race, just specifically because he'd never won a race, and there ain't no other track that I know of that has a first times winners race other than the Boone Speedway.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because we line them up, youngest non-winner on the pole, the oldest.
Yes, oldest.
On the pole, youngest on the tail. And this kid last year started towards the tail because I think he was
Gage.
Yeah.
Gage. Oh, yeah, Gage. Gage won it, yeah.
Yep.
So, the year before it was Tom Lathrop, which, he's raced Boone Speedway for years and had not won a race. And talk about the excitement of somebody's face when they win their first race.
There's not much better.
It ain't any better,
Well,
and it's so cool.
Tony Hillenberg come to my shop here a week ago and brought us some pictures for Dad and I. It's a picture of Gage, you and I. The funniest part about it is you can see where Dad sets his beer on his chest because he's got the wet spot from the koozie. But that right there, and Tommy Lathrop just when he won that deal, I mean, he was in tears.
Yeah.
And come over and just thanked us, and to meet those new people, it's a way also too for a lot of people to meet. Last year we didn't have the driver introduction deal because of timing and stuff that went on in the air stuff and everything, but it was a really cool way for us to kind of meet some of the new up and coming drivers or people that have been doing it for a while that we don't really touch base with. So very, very cool event. We appreciate Dad and starting up this first times winners race. So we'll be looking forward to that. We know you're not going to tell us where you get all the gumbo dirt, but every racer that races at the Boone Speedway Weekly is greatly appreciative of that. And all the other things, like all you dickheads that leave your tires at the track, Dad hauls those out for us. Just all the behind the scenes things that Dad does for the racetrack. We are all greatly appreciative of it, and we hope that it continues for as long as you are around to be able to do it.
Absolutely. I'm just glad to be part of it.
Yeah. And once we shut the cameras down too, I'm going to get the secrets on where that DNR testing came from that gumbo dirt.
That's a dirty word.
Well, with that, we thank and appreciate everybody for continuing to tune in to Watermelons and Wood Chips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. So stay tuned for the next episode. We will see you next week.
Have a happy new year too.
Happy New Year.